We've just arrived in the Paroo National Park, having come up from White Cliffs. Roads are fairly rough and some of them have been closed. Quite a few dead kangaroo along the way and some living ones. We did think we were going to be able to get up into Queensland today, but we're thinking more likely now we'll end up in Wanaaring. But before we get there, we'd like to stop off and have a bit of a look through the park. Apparently there's a lovely lake area up there that only floods about once every 10 years, and when it does, brings in a really big flock of birds, a whole range of them. So I thought we'll have a look at that when we get there. And we'll perhaps see you up at Peery Lakes.
We're here, Peery Lake, 52 kilometres from White Cliffs. The road's been pretty good, even though Susan said it was pretty rough. It's generally okay, a couple of little washouts along the way. Peery Lake, a little bit underwhelming. There is water off in the distance, I'm sure that's pretty good, but there's no walking trails or anything that are marked here that are obvious to us anyway, without just wandering off into the scrub, which probably isn't a great idea. We're about 150 k's from Wanaaring, and we're going to head that way. There's a few birds off in those trees over there. Pretty sure the red-crested, yellow-bellied sapsucker's over there. We might just go and chase it right now. Okay, just realised my brakes weren't working properly and figured out that this is pulled out of its connector, and we've lost the plastic Anderson plug, and it's supposed to plug into there, which means we've got no way of charging the batteries. I've probably got a new one to put onto there to get the charging going, but then I need to do something about getting those brakes and the charger working, so I will do a repair job when we stop somewhere. Alrighty, there you go. First breakdown on the road. Let's find some electricals tapes.
Well, we made it to Queensland. A few bumps along the way. I reckon we've been over about 100 grids, and this is the dingo fence. Not quite sure which side of the fence the dingoes are staying on, but we're going to drive through and we'll be ready for the next adventure. Now literally we do have to open the fence to get into Queensland, so I'm doing just that. And we'll let Peter into Queensland. I got to come first. All right, here we go. And we'll shut the gate and lock all the southerners back out again. All right, there we go. Job done. There we go, just to prove that I didn't leave the fence open. And that is officially the wild dog barrier fence. Given how many wild dogs we saw shot on the other side of the fence, I can only assume that all the dogs are in New South Wales.
are at Currawinya National Park in Queensland. We did about 350 k's from White Cliffs yesterday to get here, and it's a bit of a jam. It's certainly really, really remote, or it feels super remote.
Like, this campsite's lovely. There's cold shower if you want one. There's flushing toilet.
Complete with frogs.
And I do like my flushing toilets. And really, there's only one other person camping here tonight. And we're right here by the water. The sun is shining. It's been 20 degrees today. It's a magnificent day. I think we've done really well.
Yeah, it's great. It's really, really nice. So, not doing much today. We've just walked around the lake. I'm not sure if you can see that behind us. And we're walking up a little dry riverbed right now, just having a little bit of a look.
About.
Bit of a rest day. Got a few running repairs to do on the camper.
As you saw from yesterday.
Yeah, one of the main charging cables back to the camper fell out over a bump or just shook loose, and that's hit the ground and busted. So I think I've got enough spares to jerry-rig that and get that going. So yeah, quiet day, clean up day, brush some dust off some things, and generally
read my book and take it easy.
Yeah, enjoy the sun. 21 degrees. It's certainly a lot better than it would have been back in Melbourne at this stage.
Yep, so we're going to keep having a lovely time, and maybe tomorrow we'll have a bit more of a look around the park. There are a few historic sites, wool sheds and a few other things to have a look at. So, well, we'll see how we go. Might even end up at the pub for lunch.
Why not? Back to Hungerford pub, hopefully some fuel, because if we go down there to have lunch and we don't get some fuel, we're in a bit of strife.
We'll be staying the night at the pub.
Might have. Okay, we've done a little drive, about 7 k's from our campsite. Just have a bit of a look around at one of the attractions in the park, and we are at the Tareen Mill. A little bit of wreckage here. You can see there is a windmill behind me. Looks like a bit of a soak or a borehole just across there, and an old house or something, probably from back in the days when it was a pastoral station. You really do feel like you are in the middle of nowhere out here. We've only seen 2 other people in the park since we've been here. We've had a quiet day today. I've fixed the issue we had with our power to the camper and fixed all of that. And we've got some water organised to have a little shower off the side of the tent later on, just to freshen up. But it is a beautiful spot, the lake we're back on. It was a beautiful walk around that this morning. The flies are a little bit thicker this afternoon, but not height of summer type thick. Yeah, maybe that's right. Maybe once we have the shower, maybe we won't have the flies. So then we're going to cook another campfire meal tonight. We're going to do rack of lamb in the camp oven. So we'll head back and get a bit of coals going in the next little while, and then tidy up the camp tomorrow morning. It's a quiet morning, but we might head back to Hungerford, to the pub, to have a beer and have a bit of a general look around, and hopefully to get some diesel. It says that they've got diesel, but I'm not 100% sure that I saw much of where that diesel was. But anyway, hopefully we find that. Otherwise, Susan might be walking a while with a petrol can in her hand.
I'm sure someone would stop for me.
Done.
There's a fire in my left chest, burning my soul, but it fights with my heartbeat. There's an effort that you made that wasn't enough. There's a figure in the mirror that's giving it up. And it's you. Oh, it's you.
Okay, tonight we are having a rack of lamb with some roast veggies and a few bonus tomatoes. And we've got a bit of lemon in there. We've seasoned the lamb up, got some carrots, and I think it's looking not too bad. So, a thumbs up for another campfire cook.
If you gave it to me, this army of sinners forgot to fight for a cause. While the vision
Okay, this is the end result. We have a rack of lamb with roast carrots, potatoes, and a few extra tomatoes in there. So I think we should start to dish up. Okay, here we go. Hopefully it tastes all right. Doesn't look too bad. Out of the way.
there's a schoolboy standing up in front of an army, shoes in the mud and the wet paint twists and turns up the alley just like it should. So your colors, they start, and it's stripping you off your ballot.
Well, I'm not quite sure whether we've got enough fuel to get to the next stop, and we're hoping we can get fuel in Hungerford.
And we planned to get fuel in Hungerford and we're going to head there now, but we thought we might come up the top of this hill
We're hoping for a bit of reception up here,
and get some reception.
and we'll just, before we actually drive that way, we'll ring and find out whether they've got the fuel that we need. Otherwise we might have to revise our plans on our trip out.
We have enough fuel to get from here to our next camp, but it's a case of how much extra driving around we're doing in here that we need to figure out.